you come from a exotic dancing background.
Mm-hmm.
How has that transition been for you from the stripping transition to the music transition?
Well, see, I've always wanted to do music. That's why I've never like really indulged in dating or fucking with rappers or musicians, because I've always wanted to do this. I've been writing poetry since I was about 10, 11, and writing rap since like 14. So it's always been a passion. So back in the days, I would like dancing was not looked upon as it is now. Like it was still very taboo. I started dancing in 2009, and dancing hasn't even really been like kind of accepted until maybe like the past 2 to 3 years. So, and that's about the same amount of time that I've retired. So while I was doing it, being one of the first strippers turned rappers, I had to deal with so many doors closed in my face and stuff like that. So now that it's being respected and I have retired and I did good, I did my numbers in it, people are now starting to be like, oh, Nya, you could rap. They're so late. But they're accepting of my past because they're accepting strippers now. Mm. But back when I was doing it, that's why like I be saying like, I've been like trying to tell y'all I was ill, whatever, but they weren't accepting of a stripper being anything more than just a stripper. I like made being a stripper kind of a celebrity kind of thing. So
back in those days, you were making music and dancing at the same time?
Mm-hmm. And I was like up until maybe past year and a half, it's been me by myself. Like, I invested in myself. I was paying for studio time. I've paid even video directors in singles, like the remaining, like, so people know how much I really put into this. And I've never really had a good team around me. I've never had people come around and really want to help me because nobody thought that it was possible. So everything up to, like I said, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, has been solely me. Like me being the dot connector, me responding to emails as a manager, me responding to this as an assistant, because I'm not going to lie, like up until just recently, I finally had people that are secure within themselves to come around and try to elevate me. Everybody I met before then that did have platforms and things that they could do for me, they knew and seen this full potential that I'm growing into now. And I feel that some of those people were like, oh, if I put her in this position, she's going to go past me. So now I have a team who's very, very confident in themselves and believes in me as much as I believe in them. And I'm just so grateful for that.
Now, were you retired before Love and Hip Hop, when you started going on Love and Hip Hop? Were you retired at that point?
No, when I went on to Love and Hip Hop, I was still dancing. As I said before, like I thought, like I made stripping like, okay, I'm going to be a celebrity over here so that in the strip club, it's even more reason why they should throw me money. So when I went on Love and Hip Hop, I was fighting back and forth. So after Love and Hip Hop, I would dance for like 6 months, fall back, because I was dealing with, aren't you on Love and Hip Hop? Why are you dancing? But no lie, like it was like I made more money even, after Love and Hip Hop, because it's like, oh shit, she's still dancing. And people could sit here and act like I'm bugging, but like Love and Hip Hop ain't cutting these big ass checks that's gonna fund the lifestyle that I like. So I did it. I had my nice little run on there, whatever. And when I went off of it, I was back and forth with dancing and stuff like that, because I was at one point, I was getting like 5 to 10 bands just to go into the strip club. Then I would go on stage and make $8,000 to $12,000, $15,000. So I was like, bitch, you still got to pay for these videos and this music in the studio, so you might need to just feature or something like that. So that's where that area of going back and forth with it, because I was still paying for everything, doing everything for myself, and people don't really know that. So,
but you were making music and recording while you were dancing.
Right.
But was it the show that brought the light to your music? Would you say that?
No, I feel like the show brought light to my my bitchy personality, my bitchy side. So I tell people this all the time, like I regret doing Love and Hip Hop more than I regret being a stripper. At least I made way more money being a fucking stripper than I did being on Love and Hip Hop. With Love and Hip Hop, I feel like they just kept putting me with people that I didn't necessarily get along with, and they weren't even giving me the benefit of the doubt to sit with people who I did get along with so that the rest of the world could see this side of me. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, well, if I could go back then, I wouldn't be. No, at that point in time, I felt like Rich was a cornball at that point in time. Today, now where we are today, me and him are cool, we're cordial, we sit, we speak. Erica Mena at that time, she did walk in with a fake Birkin bag. I pointed it out. I'm not changing that either. Today, God bless her, whatever, do your thing. But at that point in time, they just kept putting me with people I ain't like, and they never let me sit down with like somebody like Nya Lee, who I love, I fuck with. You know, she came and interviewed me when I had my baby, when I was pregnant and stuff like that. They never gave me scenes with people like that. So I didn't really care for Love and Hip Hop. They didn't show nothing but a bitchy side of me.
Did you dance to your music when you were?
Yeah, I used
in
to
your exotic dancing days? Were you getting your music spun while you were
Hell yeah. I was I know a lot of the DJs, and a lot of the DJs in New York, even still to this day, are trying to get comfortable with separating homegirl Nya Lee, the top stripper in New York, who's coming to give them $100, $200 to play the records and get me on stage, to like the artists, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely built a relationship with them, but I was still dancing, so it was kind of hard for them to take me serious as the artist, because I'm coming to them naked, but like, yo, here's a song. But I did have this one song that a lot of DJs liked in my city. It was called Broke Niggas, No Broke Niggas. So, I mean, come on. So title, it was like, we don't fuck with them broke niggas. Broke niggas give a fuck about them broke niggas. So a lot of strippers liked it too. We had these shirts that had no broke niggas on it. Like it was like the no smoking sign, like that. And I put broke niggas in there. So it was like, ban the broke niggas. So that was a good song.
So did it come to a point where people were spinning, okay, so was it people spinning your records at first because you were who you were? Or did it come to a point where the music became good enough for it to be spun on its own by people?
I think that
DJs.
I think that point is coming now because I'm tunnel visioning the music, and the music sounds way better than it did before. Like, I'm my worst critic. I listen to my old music, and not necessarily that the lyrics wasn't there, but the cadence wasn't there. This grown woman wasn't there. I was like, see, a lot of people fail to realize when I was back in that world, I was 18, 19, 20. I retired at like 23. So I was dancing and bartending from 18 to 23. So my voice didn't even sound as good as it sounds today. So back then, I'm not going to lie, 9 times out of 10, I probably got spins because I was OG Nya Lee. But now, people are starting to pay attention like, oh, shit, you can actually, like, spit or whatever the case may be. So it's all in the creator's hands all the time, man.
What was the reaction you were getting to your music when maybe people didn't know it was you that was actually rapping, but you were like still dancing in the club and your music would come on?
Oh, they would vibe out to it. They would, like, I would look around. Like, I've always had pretty good music, but to me, the quality, the sound, the studios changed, my voice changed, my comfortability levels changed. So
you matured.
I matured. Like, you know, it's like, it's comparing any great now to like their first records. It's gonna be a big difference. It should be a big difference. So like I said, like, people liked my stuff. I've never had people like, this shit is dead trash, don't do it no more. But I do feel very secure in this, that people were able to, anybody that's a day one supporter, are able to backtrack and see my growth. So that goes along with side of how much of a real artist I am. I didn't come out with nothing crazy off the, like, people really are watching my growth. And I really sit in the studio and I pen my own shit. And, like, I remember I did an interview the other day with somebody, and they were like, yeah, such and such got a ghostwriter. This person got a ghostwriter. And I'm like, well, who's my ghostwriter? Like, what's the word on the streets? Do anybody think I got a ghostwriter? They're like, nah, man, everybody been watching your shit. Do we know, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of happy that I don't have the, like, super overnight success, because people are, like, watching me and genuinely see that I'm an artist and I'm building. So that's the good thing about that.
There have been some other female rappers that we've seen come from that exotic dancing background. Eve.
Yes, my boo.
Trina.
Yup.
You've done a record with Trina.
Yes, I did do a record.
Have you done a record with Eve?
No, I wish I did a record with Eve. Oh, I would die if I got the feature from Eve. Come out of retirement, boo.
And most recently, Cardi B.
Yes.
Never done a record with her yet?
No, never did a record with her yet.
What do you make of these careers that I just named, coming from that exotic dancing background and to reach the success levels they have
See, I'm not too familiar with Trina's background with the dancing and stuff like that, so I don't know how her status was. But to me, Eve, Cardi B, who's another stripper turned rapper? No, Cash Doll did her numbers. But
Cash Doll too?
Yeah,
yes.
Cash Doll, she did her numbers.
But these are more the most commercial successes I know.
Yeah, commercial. So see, with Eve and Cardi B, like it was hard for me to walk away and super take this shit super serious. You know what I'm saying? So with them, you know, I don't know what type of money they was getting in the strip club, but it was harder for me to walk away because, like I just said, I'm passing up on a nigga with 2, 5, even 10 bands solely for me. So I don't know what type of money they was getting in that lifestyle. So it was harder for me to walk away from it. But they definitely did walk away, and they did their numbers, and they did not fail. And that right there, like, is something to admire. It's something to look up to. It's something to look forward to, you know, for me to be in those positions. So it was just like I said, because people always ask me the comparisons. I'm like, bitch, I was over here making these 20, 30 bands in 2, 3, 4 days. I ain't got time to be in that booth right now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. They did it, though. They walked away, baby. It was hard.
Now, how about ever had a thought of relapsing from the music back to dancing?
Not at this point in my career. Maybe before my daughter, you know, because I started bartending. I wasn't stripping anymore. Back then, but mostly for monetary reasons, you know. Like, I mean, shit, you walk away from that lifestyle and you think you going to just go and chase your dreams and that your dreams is just going to pay you overnight. It's not. So thank God I have someone like my fiance come in and, like, the money that I walked away from the strip club help me reinvest it and have my money working for me and things like that. So, you know, it's just, I never, like, no, I don't want to go back. Because even now, I go and I see these bitches, they making money, and it's just like, because I know the headache that comes with that shit. I know the hate that comes with that shit. I know the discredit that will come back to my music if I want. And it's like, I've worked so hard to get here that I'm not looking back unless I have to. Like, my daughter has to be starving, and we have to have no other options for me to go back. But other than that, like, I'm not going back.
When did you make that final choice and say, okay, I'm retiring this for real? Because, like you said, when you were on TV, you did go back to dancing.
Yeah. I made that decision, right, like...
How does one know when to make a decision like that? Is it financial stability?
Yeah, financial stability has to be there. You have to be able, like, when I walked away from it, I was able to live for 2.5 years without working. And to me, that was good enough time for me to figure it out, see if this works, still make other money, hostings, things like that. So I had walked away at a point where I was going to be all right for like 2.5 years without working, without stressing. And I had got a second place in LA, and I had started like a little online boutique to have some type of money coming in to make up for what I wasn't going to have. And then about 3 months in, I met my baby daddy, and in the very beginning, I already knew that this was going to be different. So I kind of even, like, dubbed his shit at first. Like, oh, this thing is going to come in and make me his wifey. Oh, my God. I still got to hang out and turn up a little bit. But he came in, man. Like I said, I told him what I had. I told him where I wanted to go. I told him what I wanted to do. And he stood by and still to this day supports everything that I want to do. And he makes me a better person, better woman. So that's what made the transition easier, to have a significant other, you know, support me. Not just financially, because that's what bitches say. Oh, that nigga, like, no, I had my own money, and he was like, all right, boom, this is how we want to do this or whatever. Because my man's in real estate, so he helped me out. This is not just a Jay-Z cliche line. Like, he dead ass was like, yo, look, this is what I'm doing, this is how I do it. And that's how I was always, even in a strip club. Like, I never just wanted a guy to give me fish, like, teach me how to fish. And that's why I have so many good relationships with them. But yeah, the transition wasn't easy, but I did it.
Let's say there's an exotic dancer watching this interview, and they're thinking about quitting, retiring. They're teetering that slope, however way you want to say it. whether they want to be a rapper or something else, right? Is there any advice you would just say to somebody that's tiptoeing? Should I quit? Should I not? Should I retire? Should I not?
I say at minimum have a year's worth of your bills and things like that, stability. Be able to have that cushion to pay the bills at basic for the at minimum for the next year. That's first and foremost. And second, knowing that this transition is going to be hard. You know, it's definitely going to be hard, but it can be done. And a day and age like today where we have social media, even like when girls hit me up and say that they want to even start dancing, I'm like, bitch, is you bugging? Like, because we have so many female millionaires, super thousandaires, you know what I'm saying, that's coming up from online boutiques, hair companies. Like one of the girls who I started out dancing with, she had started this hair company, Yazzie Hair, and now this bitch is doing her motherfucking numbers, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put her business out there, but that's what I be telling these young girls that even say they interested in getting into it. I be like, girl, you don't even have to go that route, because now us as women, like, we are so strong together, and I think that we're starting to see that. So women are supporting other women's businesses. So I tell women that all the time, like, you shouldn't even get into it. But if you want to get out of it, it's easy too, because you can just start up a new business or whatever you're interested in and rock and roll. You don't even have to do this shit no more. You ain't gotta be naked, baby.
What was that like doing a record with Trina?
Doing a record with Trina was, amazing. It was amazing. And the way it happened was just so effortless, and it was genuine, you know. I had did this Thriller video, and I had said, I'm the baddest bitch since Trina 06 on one of my Thriller videos. So she reposted that, and I was like, I comment on her page, thank you so much. And then I slid in her DMs, and I was like, hey, look, I got this record, you know, thank you for posting me, but bitch, I got this record, I want you to get on it. And she was like, yeah, sure, send me the beat or whatever, send me it. She did it within like a week, and then I think 2 weeks from then we planned the video. And I had seen Trina for years, never spoke to her. So that was the first time that we actually got to sit and interact, and she gave me some really, really good advice. And like I said, the chemistry, she's a Sagittarius like me. Chemistry was so good. Everything she said to me, it felt like it came from a genuine place. And I meet a lot of females out here, but with Trina, it felt very, very genuine. And forever and a day, I'm going to be like in depth and love and thankful and appreciative of that opportunity.
I had mentioned Cardi B earlier in this interview. You mentioned Cash Doll.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever consider doing a collab with either of them?
Yeah, me and Cash Doll been wanting to do a record together. Like, boom, this is why me and Cash Doll go back so long. Back when I was on Love and Hip Hop, they booked me in Detroit the same day of her birthday party.
Her birthday parties are huge.
Yeah, it was big. This is about, I think, 4 years ago, don't quote me on that. But, so she was like, bitch, you know, my birthday, they booked you the same day. I was like, all right, I'm going to fly out a day earlier so we can hang out. So I went in a day earlier, and this is before Cash Doll even released any music. And she played me a record. I don't think it's the Tinashe joint. It was something else she played me. And I was like, bitch, you need to do this. Like, because to me, how I look at Cash Doll is kind of like Cash Doll of Detroit is Nya Lee of New York. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I'm like, bitch, your city is going to back you. Like, you running up the check in here, so you got the bread to put behind your videos, all that. So that's why, you know, to this day, like, me and Cash Doll, like, really have a sisterhood, you know. Like, I really fuck with her. Like, we won't ever have no issues. I support her in any and everything she do, even though she's a female rapper, and the love is so, you know, mutual and genuine. So from day one, I was like, yeah, bitch, like, you need to go ahead and do that. So I can't wait. When she figures out her whole paperwork situation, it is definitely going to be a Cash Doll and Nya Lee situation.